You did it. You just opened your first credit card and you are ready to build your financial future. You're feeling that sense of accomplishment, that first real step into the world of adulting. You wait a week, maybe two, and you go to check your brand new credit score, and there's nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. You're a ghost in the financial system. It's a frustrating feeling, right? Being completely invisible to lenders when you're trying so hard to do everything correctly. This isn't just a small annoyance. Being a credit ghost can genuinely hold you back. Without that magic 3-digit number, you'll find it's much harder to get approved for a car loan, an apartment, or even a new cell phone plan without putting down a hefty deposit. You're stuck on the outside looking in. So, how long does it actually take to go from being a financial ghost to having a credit score? The answer might surprise you. We're going to break down the real timeline and the exact steps you need to take to see that score pop up in just a few months. First, let's get one thing straight. You don't start with a credit score of 0. You start with no score at all. Think of it like a grade in a class you just signed up for. You don't have an F on day 1, you just don't have a grade yet because you haven't turned in any assignments. It takes time for your new account to even show up in the system. Your credit card company usually waits until your first billing cycle closes to report your activity to the 3 major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. These are the companies that collect all the data. Then, the scoring models themselves, like FICO and VantageScore, need to see a pattern of behavior before they can assign you a number. They want to see more than a few weeks of activity to feel confident about how you handle credit. So, what's the magic number of months? Well, it depends entirely on which scoring model is being used. The one you'll hear about most often is the FICO score. Around 90% of top lenders use FICO scores to make their decisions, so this is the one that really counts. To generate your very first FICO score, you need at least one account that's been open and reported for a minimum of 6 months. Yep, 6 full months. There's really no way to speed that specific process up. However, there's another major player called VantageScore. VantageScore is a bit more modern and can generate a score much faster. Sometimes you can get a VantageScore within 1 to 2 months after your first account activity gets reported. This is why you might see a score on a free credit monitoring app long before you have an official FICO score. While it's awesome to see that early VantageScore, always remember that the 6-month mark for your FICO score is the most important milestone for any major loan or credit application. Okay, so you have to wait. But this is not a passive waiting game. What you do in these first 6 months is critical. This is your training ground. Here is your simple 4-step game plan to get you started right. First, use your card responsibly. I'm not saying you should go on a shopping spree. Just make 1 or 2 small, regular purchases each month. Use it for your gas, your Netflix subscription, or a cup of coffee. This just shows that the account is active. Second, and this is the golden rule, pay your bill on time, every single time. Your payment history is the single biggest factor in your credit score, making up 35% of your FICO score. Even one late payment can set you back in a big way. Set up autopay if you need to. Just don't miss this. Third, keep your credit utilization low. This sounds way more complicated than it is. It's just the percentage of your available credit that you're using. If you have a $1,000 limit and a $100 balance, your utilization is 10%. Try to keep this below 30%, but honestly, under 10% is the sweet spot. High utilization looks risky to lenders. Fourth, a little pro tip. Confirm your card reports to all 3 credit bureaus. Most major credit cards do, but it never hurts to double-check. An account that only reports to one bureau won't build your credit history as effectively. All right, so let's recap. You'll likely see your first VantageScore pop up in 1 to 2 months, but the score that most lenders really care about, your FICO score, won't appear for a full 6 months. Be patient. Remember, the goal isn't just to get a score, it's to start with a good one. By using your card for small purchases, always paying your bill on time, and keeping your balance low during these first 6 months, you are laying the perfect foundation for a strong financial future. It's not about waiting, it's about building. Let me know in the comments if you're waiting for your first score right now. I'd love to hear where you are in your journey. Thanks for watching.